meeting to order. Are we ready to start recording? Hello.
Ginny seems to be having a problem with her speaking, but I see it is now streaming live.
Okay, so why don't we call this meeting to order? Would everybody join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. On that presentation, we don't have any presentations tonight. Announcements, coronavirus update. I sent a code red out last week that showed that the virus was growing in Brookfield significantly. There were 71 cases last week. That's a little bit concerning. So we asked people to be very careful, be safe, maintain your distance, wear a mask, and get vaccinated. The same thing, our clinics at St. Joseph's School start tomorrow. And we invite everyone to go on to BAMS and try to get an appointment there. If you can't get one in Brookfield, we would suggest that you get an appointment wherever you can. In talking to the clinic managers today, there may be between 5 and 20 extra doses each day. We're going to send a code red out tonight, well, right now, telling people that. So if you would like to get a vaccination and you don't have an appointment, you can go at 5 p.m. during the week and tell them, or 12 noon on Saturdays, and tell them. They will know pretty much right then whether they have availability to give you the vaccination, and will tell you and ask you to wait in line. And so you can give it a try. There's not going to be a lot of doses, and we can't guarantee how many there will be. Any questions on that, Sue? Any points I missed?
No, I think I just got my update. Is the health department seeing any kind of pattern in who is contracting the COVID?
Yeah, I had a conversation.
Yeah, we can be more careful. Let me put you up. I'm hanging up my call from you. Okay.
I had an email exchange with our director of public health, and it's hard to pin one thing because our contact tracing isn't perfect. Some people aren't telling us they've gotten the test, things like that. But it's his opinion that it's a younger group of people that are getting this. He believes that they are asymptomatic, meaning showing no signs of the virus. They don't know they have it. And he says it might also be these more contagious variants that are much more contagious.
So we all need to be cautious.
Everyone needs to be really cautious, really cautious. Okay, so we held a special town meeting on the 30th of March for the next year's fiscal 21-22 capital projects, and passing a resolution setting May 18th, 2021 for a referendum from the hours of 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. For the date of the vote for the capital projects and the annual budget. A virtual Board of Finance public hearing is scheduled for Tuesday, tomorrow, April 6th at 7 p.m. Links and call-in for that are on the agenda. Again, that's for the budget for next year. And again, the Coffee with the Community will be held Monday, April 19th at 5:30 p.m. with the Board of Selectmen. YouTube and call-in information will be on the agenda, which you get in the town website. There's no correspondence to the town. And our next item is the monthly financial update. Marcia, would you like to give us that review, please?
You bet. That we're expecting to be at or below budget. That we talked about making transfers quarterly. We need to do transfers because the budget was done over a year ago, and things change as we go through. Some increases, some decreases. And we also need to do it as part of our controls that people can't put in a purchase order if they don't have the budget. So we need to be changing that. We do it about every quarter until we get to the end of the year, and then it's every month. That there are 3 categories of budget transfers. One is within the department. There's nothing too exciting there that, someone may be over on office supplies, but under on mileage, and they're just moving things within their department. That we would like to ask to be approved by the Board of Selectmen. It does not, by charter, have to go to the Board of Finance. The second category of transfers, and they're all on the sheets that are attached to the agenda. The second category of transfers are between departments. And when we look at that, just looking at the ones that are increases and the reason why they're increasing, the town clerk is looking for just a little bit more money, $1,800. If you recall from when we look at the revenue report, that she is bringing in lots and lots of recording fees. Well, the recordings need the books and the company to put those in the formal books. So there's this is related to the extra revenue. That Public Works, we have some overtime for them. Part of that will be covered by part of that overtime. We're hoping to be covered by Isa, the storm on August 4th. We're working on the FEMA claim now, but it's a total of $42,000. And what we found is, so it's snow. And what we found is that looking at the 2022 budget, that we've always been a little bit under on their overtime. So that we need 42,000. Refuse and monitoring for recycling, we're looking for an additional 25,000, and that is directly related to the storm on August 4th. That when we do the storm for FEMA, we have to have a monitor watch where that the debris goes. And so that is the additional cost that we're trying to cover within the budget. Even if we get reimbursement for it, that will be a revenue, and we have to have enough money in the expenditures. For Parks and Rec, for grounds parks, who are looking for supplies for the grounds for $8,500. This is partially Storm Isa, and a fence falling on a tree that there's a $5,000 deductible to fix that fence. And then the last one that's an addition is safety and security, that we have the money in the budget. I just wanted to bring this one up separately, that we're hoping that the town will approve the budget as it is. And this is some money for cameras. Well, there's money in next year's capital budget for cameras, and it makes sense to do them all together to get a better buying power. And these are cameras for the fuel pump that work in the safety and security. We're required to either put a fence around the fuel pumps or put cameras up, and the cameras are the cheaper option. So those are the increases of why we want more money. And then we looked at the decreases of where we may have had more money that we could offset that. So nothing is adding to the bottom line. It's all coming out of the budget someplace. And then the last one is COVID, that we gave you a report of the COVID budget, now moving to St. Joe's and having a little bit more experience from the last time we talked about this in January, that we are requesting 63,000 more for from the COVID contingency, of which 51,000 is the vaccination clinic. That again, we think this will be covered 100% by FEMA, but we have to treat the revenue separately than how we treat the expenditures. So that is the meat of the financial report, are just working with those three those 3 transfers. Do you have any questions on that?
I don't. Sue?
Well, I know within your report here, you had mentioned that we were still waiting for some invoicing for the salt and sand. How are we looking? The numbers look good. I mean,
Yes, that he was thinking that he might have at least 40,000 extra in salt and sand. I know that we did just this week, we did a big chunk of money for salt and sand, at least 50,000. But he still thinks he's got quite a bit left, although it's still early for him to commit because he likes to wait until at least after April 15th to say that we're not going to have any more snow or ice.
Yeah, because we had our guys out about 10 days ago, if you remember, salting and sanding over the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another question I had was legal notices and the posting. I know, we always have to have money in there. But I know with COVID, weren't those relaxed?
Yes,
And
so
do
if
we
you take a look
see that starting up again anytime soon?
every quarter we've been taking it out, and for right now we know that those notices through April 30th will not need to be done. That for certain notices, the tax collector still has to do hers, the assessor still has to do hers. But right now it's through April 30th. So we've been taking a little bit out every quarter, and we did some more this quarter, but we didn't take the whole thing because we may still have to do that in May and June.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I guess my only other question too with the COVID, I mean, I know, hopefully we're going to get, reimbursed for all of this, but, we're planning on having St. Joe's 3 days a week and alternating days, from the week. If it looks like we are getting a lot of people vaccinated, can we maybe cut back on the 13 weeks? Only because looking at this, it's like $370 a day. And if we're finding that we're not getting the numbers through there, can we reduce the number of days so that our costs, aren't going to be there?
In an abundance of caution, we planned out 13 weeks. I don't believe we'll be holding those clinics for 13 weeks.
Okay.
We discussed this today when we visited the site. I think a lot of these will go once they move, and I think they will move to, you don't need an appointment anymore. People will be going to the mass vaccination sites. So we'll do one of two things, either cut back on the number of days, right, that we're doing it. If we can't fill the appointments that we have, then we have to cut that back on the amount of vaccine that we order. So it's going to be playing it by ear, but I really don't believe we're going to go 13 weeks.
Okay.
That's
all right. So we're leaving ourselves open for, we just don't want to have 10 people come in on a day and it's costing,
No, and we can't do that.
hopefully we get reimbursed, but
Yeah, we should get reimbursed. I don't think there's any question about that, but we can't do that. If we had 100 doses scheduled for a day and only had 10 people, they would cut off our supply.
Yeah.
We have to plan ahead of time and make sure that we have enough people to come in. So I don't know how long it will be, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe. I don't think it'll be 13.
Yeah, we really should get reimbursed also because we are, it's not just Brookfield residents.
Right.
We're opening it up to other.
And we should get reimbursed. I just am always a little gun shy with FEMA that, but we have started the application. The period ends March 31st, and we've set that up. We've already corresponded with FEMA, and we're putting the data in now.
Yeah, we've started those conversations. We'll have fun. Okay.
Okay, but like you say, it's like until we see it.
Yeah, you believe it when you see it.
Yep.
This year we got some money from the storm 2.5 years ago. So sometimes it can take a while. And with FEMA and a national emergency, it wouldn't surprise me unless they loosen up their rules, could take 2 years to get funding back. Luckily, we have our contingency. We're well below that, so we're in good shape. Any other questions, Sue?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, good. So I'll make a motion that the selectmen approve the intra-department transfers as shown in the report. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I would also make a motion that the selectmen approve the inter-department transfers as shown on the report. and
Mhm.
forward to the Board of Finance for their consideration and approval. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I would make a motion that the selectmen approve the COVID transfers as listed in the report and forward those to the Board of Finance also for their consideration and approval. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second. Second.
Favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, carries unanimously. Our new items, fiscal year 2020 municipal grants program. I'll make the motion first and we can discuss it if you'd like. That the selectmen approve the fiscal year 2022 municipal grant programs for elderly and demand response transportation, and that we place the first selectman signature on the MGPO certifications. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? We do this every year to allow funding for transporting seniors.
Mhm.
Any questions on it, Sue?
No.
No? All those in favor, say
I'm
aye.
good. Aye.
Okay, I would now make a motion to add an item to our agenda for the fair housing resolution. We sent you a copy. I don't think I have to read the whole thing, but basically it attests to the fact that the Board of Selectmen is instructing the first selectman to agree in writing that the town of Brookfield does believe in fair housing and will not discriminate based on age, sex, marital status, any of the categories under which people can be discriminated against. We sign this every year, and Ginny just got it this afternoon. That's why it wasn't on the original agenda. So I make a motion to add that to our agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion, Sue?
Is this the funding that residents could ask for to help? This is
No.
different.
No, that's the small cities
different.
grants.
Okay.
This is
I
just
saw it
a
came from the same person, so I wasn't sure. Okay.
no, it's not. This is just a resolution on the part of the town of Brookfield. If grants come available, right, we could say, yeah, we did assign that, we approved it, and we are a fair housing town.
Okay. Yep, I'm fine. Thank you.
Having heard
Thank you
that,
for the
all those-
clarification.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, carries unanimously. Then we don't have any updates. The consent agenda, the selectmen's approval for routine matters. We have the DOT project authorization letter for safety improvements along Route 202.
Can I ask a question about that, or do you want to go through all of them first?
Why don't I just go through them all real quick?
Okay.
The Board of Selectmen meeting minutes for the 26th of February, 1st, 2nd, 9th, and 22nd of March. The employee changes, library temporary part-time door monitors, Alyssa Eggers as of 3/22, Virginia Pfeiffer is 3/25, Christopher Brooks is 3/28, Amelie Ranchi, 3/22, library and program assistant part-time, Natalie Dest, 3/29, reference librarian temporary part-time, Alexander Stowell, a driveway bond for 19 Deer Run in the amount of $750, and new excavation bonds. Those are all of the consent agenda items. You had a question?
I did, yeah. On the project authorization letter, basically what they're saying is that we're going to take care of it once they put those, the upgrades to the road.
Not all of them. We would be taking care of
Sidewalks.
sidewalks, the bus shelters,
Mhm.
things like that.
And the area that we're talking about, for someone who hasn't seen the letter, is from Coles up to where they're going to put in the new light near
Roman House
O'Connor's.
used to be. So this is the project, just to remind everybody, the project that we started, Sue, remember this 5 years ago?
Right.
Um,
I'm wondering, does this mean that we're getting closer?
Yes, we are. So this year, they're going to start the construction by moving all the light poles on
Okay.
Federal Road
Okay.
between BJ's and Ramen House. And
Mhm.
next spring, they will start adding the turn lanes for like Chick-fil-A, the sidewalks, the light at Beverly Drive by the McDonald's. So
Mhm.
those residents can get out of their street. The crossing, the addition of a light by O'Connor's and Ramen House, and the switch of the road to make that a through road from the YMCA
Right.
The road will now come directly through the parking lot of where Ramen House is and have that light facing across the street into O'Connor's. So that is going to help the traffic a lot.
Mhm.
So
All
we
right.
just
So we can see some movement this spring then.
yep, we'll
For
start
the
moving
polls. Okay.
moving the lights with the
Okay.
pole. It's been,
All right.
it'll be 6 years, but well worth it. Who says the government doesn't move quickly?
My only other question is the employee changes for the door monitors. I trust these are the start dates. We just don't have an end date yet because we don't know how long this is going to happen. It's
Yeah,
not
these
just the one date that they're
That's the
working.
date that no, that's the date they're starting.
Yeah. Okay.
And we don't know when that'll end. A lot of it depends on the coronavirus.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Just
So I
clarifying.
make a
Thank you.
motion that we approve everything on the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, aye. Carries unanimously. And then we have appointments. I recommend that the selectmen appoint Jeremy Farrell as a member of the Arts Commission for a term of 5/4/5/21 to 2/7/22, as recommended by the DTC. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in
Aye.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Conservation Committee. I make a motion that the selectmen appoint Ashley Shute Bell as an alternate member of the Conservation Commission for a term of 4/5/21 to 2/5/24, as recommended by the DTC. And that at the same time, we recommend, oh, no, go ahead. Yeah, no, I'll add this. And also that the selectmen appoint Cheryl DePoy from an alternate to regular member of the Conservation Commission for a term of 4/5/21 to 2/5/24, also as recommended by the DTC. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
No
I
problem.
just want to add that, I have seen their bios that they sent in and they're all very highly qualified for their positions. So
Yeah.
I thank them
Yeah,
for
thank you. Thank you.
volunteering.
Okay, and then one other item. For
Zoning.
the zoning commission, that the selectmen appoint Phoebe Holmes as an alternate member of the zoning commission for a term of 4/5/21 to 2/5/24. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Again, I think a qualified candidate.
Yeah.
And we thank her for
Yep.
putting her hand up. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, carries unanimously. And now is public comment. Does anyone in the public wish to make a comment? I don't think we have anybody on that I can see. Okay. Not seeing anybody on and nobody wanting to make public comment.
Steve, you just muted yourself?
I don't know why. Oh, hold on a second.
I think Steve was kindly asking if I wanted to say anything, and no, I'm good. Thank you.
You're good. Okay. Greg is here. Did Greg want to add anything to our discussion tonight? John was fine. I've asked Greg if he has anything to.
I heard him. I was just closing the door. The dogs are barking.
I heard them.
I've got nothing to add, just listening in.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you, Greg. Okay, not hearing anything more, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Do I have a second?
Yes, I do. I second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. I'll go listen to you now. Listen to your phone call that came through. Red alert.